we have to stop playing small. When we step onto this path, we must stop playing small, because that's really what it takes to launch a course that's profitable. You know, it's about thinking and really acting like a successful, thriving and profitable yoga business owner. So you really need to be able to push yourself, to push outside of that comfort zone, try new things, innovate, really work towards creating something of value. And if you're not prepared to do that, if you're not prepared to implement new ideas or jump into a project 100%, then you can't expect that success to come easily. What is your definition of success in your yoga business? And it's okay if it's to make more money. Okay, so let's normalize making money as a yoga teacher, because we hear this, don't we? You can't make money in the yoga industry, or teaching yoga isn't a real job, or you shouldn't be making money from yoga. And it's all nonsense. We talked about this earlier in the Mindset Booster. Like, these stories that we hear are simply fears within society that says success isn't guaranteed. And that is simply not true. Like, your success is guaranteed. You just have to believe it. Okay. And what's essential to this success is community. You might have doubters in your life right now, but you have a community of yogipreneurs here. Yeah, a community of like-minded teachers. And a community is really essential to make your story a success. Like, we never succeed on our own, and we shouldn't want to. Yeah, because this is lonely on our own. And you might feel like you're on your own, except for the doubters in your life, like one or two people that actually make us feel like we can't do it, like we can't move forward, like this yoga business is a crazy idea, it will never work. Like, that's exactly how I felt with my mum. You know, she was the doubter in my life because of her fear. She was projecting her fear of me leaving my successful marketing career behind to become a yoga teacher. She wasn't happy about it at all. Imagine if I'd listened to her, I wouldn't be here with you guys today. And, you know, what I learned from this response from my mum is that those people, actually, those doubters, are just as important in your journey as the people who are cheering us on along the way. Because when we connect to our purpose and we connect to this bigger vision, you can actually fight back on those doubters and just put it out there. I can do this, right? I can do this. And there's a confidence that comes out of nowhere when someone challenges us that we can't do something. And I want you to have that confidence to really step up, take a chance, move through those obstacles. Yeah, when you invest in yourself, in business education, when you finally take action, when you align with your purpose, this is how you start to build that business that creates impact. This is about a legacy, isn't it? It's about being a change maker, right? Being a change maker and creating a community to help people to change their lives, essentially. Like, how would that feel to actually create legacy and change people's lives? What we're doing here is we're putting that out into the universe, or whatever kind of high energy you connect with, right? Whatever higher energy you connect with. Like, you're saying, you're putting it out there that you're no longer here to stay stuck or overwhelmed or, you know, procrastinating because you don't have that knowledge that you need to move forward. Instead, you're saying, I know what I need to do, right? I know what I need to do to move forward and create that impact that I'm here to create. I know that all of you here have an entrepreneurial spirit, or you wouldn't be here if you didn't. Like, that's something that I really know about this community. All of you have an entrepreneurial spirit. And not every yoga teacher in the world has that. Like, you're part of a small segment that knows that there's more to having a yoga business. There's more to teaching yoga online than, you know, just having drop-in classes or just, you know, teaching in studios. You guys know that, like, you understand that you're being asked to really show up in a bigger way in order to support people, in order to really hold space. And you're being called to show up in that bigger way, like as a leader in your community, to make your message much bigger than your fear. I want to help you to do that. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the framework that will allow you to do that. The framework that I use in my own business to create and launch my courses and programs. The framework that's resulted in multiple six-figure launches here at Digital Yoga Academy, generating over $1.5 million in online course sales revenue. Like, it's wild. And it's the framework that I teach inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher. And I know lots of you are excited to learn more about this program and get insights. I want to teach you this framework today. It's the Passion to Profit framework. And this is really about taking your passion, right? Remember the first masterclass about taking your passion, turning it into a profitable online yoga course. Okay, so the first step in this framework is really to get into alignment, right? It always starts with cultivating your mindset. Maybe the fear of being visible, right? Maybe your relationship with money, scarcity mindset, imposter syndrome, all of these things, so common. And you really need to look at this. It's a daily job, really. Getting into alignment also requires you to align with your students and your message. Okay, so this is clarity on your niche, clarity on who you're serving, right? We've been speaking so much about this, haven't we? So much. When you do this, then you are able to actually create a course. Yeah, we know that this is the first step. And once you've done that piece of work, then you can create branding that deeply resonates with those people. These are the foundations, right? These are a lot of the foundations. And messaging, you know, is the next part, really. You know, it involves a lot of deeper work once you've found your niche. Deeper work that we've not covered inside this immersion, you know, work that takes more time to really get into the messaging. And of course, business goals, setting goals. So one of the first things you did here was setting a vision for the next 12 months. Next is to then create goals and a plan to actually achieve those goals. So this is our getting into alignment. I like to call this the root chakra of our business, right? That's where we start. Once we've done this, then you can move into step 2, which is that magnetic messaging. It's your content. So this is an area where lots of you feel stuck. Tell me if that's you. You know, you've maybe been putting content out there and it's not sticking with people, or you're unsure what you're supposed to be creating. That content is very wishy-washy. And, you know, it's so important, because this really is like a foundation for everything that you're going to do in the rest of the framework, right? You need to be able to communicate the problem and the solution. Like, you need to know both of these things. Like, remember, that's what marketing is, isn't it? Communicating the problem that you solve. So you have to truly understand the psychology of this. When you understand the psychology of this, as it relates to your ideal student, that's when you can really create your messaging, the copy that you're using across everything that you do, that speaks to that problem and speaks to their desire, right? Speaks to the solution that you offer. It's interesting, because when you can do that, when you've got the answers to this, right? When you've got the answers to this, then you start to be able to dial in on your messaging. You start to do something that is really key, right? So we go from, remember I talked about this kind of wishy-washy messaging that's come to my yoga class Wednesday at 6 p.m. We go from that, which is where most of us kind of are in the beginning. We go from that and we're able to actually speak to our ideal student on an emotional level, right? On an emotional level, we were able to actually speak to the problem that they have and the desires that they have. That's when you cut through the noise. Like, that's when your content actually starts getting engagement. Yeah, let this land. You know, if you're putting content out there, spending loads of time on content, not getting anything back, this is the reason why. Yeah, you've not done this piece of work. Content, being able to share content in a way that is easy, right? So you create one piece of content and you're able to share it, what we call omni-channel, across lots of different platforms, lots of different channels, in a way that makes it easy for you, because we know that this is one of the biggest challenges, isn't it? You know, creating content, we struggle with it. It takes too much time. Shouldn't take up too much time. Obviously, it's non-negotiable. It needs to take up some time in your week, okay? But when you have a repurposing strategy and you understand how to do that, it's not going to take up loads and loads of time. Over time, you create a bank of content that you can just pull from, which is incredible. And, this is how you build trust. Ultimately, you build trust in this way by being visible online, right? By being visible across different channels, by being able to reach people in different ways. When people are considering working with you, they need to see your content across different touch points, right? That's what we call it in kind of marketing lingo, the different touch points. Yeah. People need to see things multiple times before they actually do something with it. The reason for that is because we're bombarded with content and messaging, right? So how do you get your content to actually cut through this online space, this noise, and reach the right people so that they do something with it? So a key step, another foundational root chakra step. Step 3, creating massive audience growth. How do we do this? You certainly need foundations in place. So you need a website, a freebie, Martina, exactly. You need to be set up with your email list software, right? You need to be set up. You need your social media set up. These are all things that we teach inside Yogipreneur Launchpad, okay? The basics when it comes to marketing. When you have those things in place, it's then easier to actually grow your audience, to actually boost the audience, right? Using strategies to boost your numbers in as short as time as possible. Thinking about Annie, who grew her email list using a summit strategy. She grew it to 800. I'm thinking about Queen, who grew her list to 1600 using a summit strategy. There are many, many other strategies that you can use to create massive audience growth. Okay, I'm not just talking about your first ever freebie. I'm talking about other strategies to actually boost the growth in as short a space as possible. So deliver high value opt-in events to quickly boost the growth of your list. Okay, so this is important. Things like masterclasses, webinars, things like what you're in right now, these types of things. And email is obviously, a key part of this. So tell me in the chat, where are you currently spending most of your time right now? Is it growing your email list? Or is it on Instagram trying to make your Instagram feed look pretty? Okay, social media is borrowed land. Algorithms change. We need to be in someone's inbox, right? They give you permission. They tell you they want to hear from you. Yeah. So we need to, build that trust, don't we? Right? We need to build the trust in someone's inbox by showing up regularly. Yeah. And also we do need to build trust on social media as well. Like you can certainly make sales on social media as well. If I think about, okay, here's a great example. A few years ago, I worked with a life coach, and I was going through my divorce, my marriage separation, and I discovered this life coach on Instagram. Okay, so she's like a relationship life coach. And so I discovered her on Instagram, and I got engrossed in all her videos, okay, because they were all on topics that I was struggling with at the time. Very specific things, okay. She was speaking to me on an emotional level. Had I gone onto her Instagram and there wasn't really anything there, I would have moved on, wouldn't I? So this is where content, omni-channel content is important. I then went on and booked a discovery call with her. A few days later, I was working with her. Like, so much power, but you have to be using Instagram in the right way. As I said, if she didn't have those videos, if she didn't have the content that was speaking to me on an emotional level, I wouldn't have stuck around. If she wasn't showing up as an expert, and you can really tell from someone's content if they're showing up as an expert. I went and looked at her website, right? I went and looked at other things that she was doing, her YouTube. She's repurposing her content. Yeah. And this is essential, like visibility and trust equals sales, essentially. Another part of creating this massive audience growth is actually your efforts to create collaborations in your space, right? How you actually find partners to work with in your space and confidently secure these collaborations so that you can get in front of people, right? So you can get in front of new audiences, and it's free. It's free. So we should always be looking at ways to build our network. And this is one of the quickest ways to grow. Like there's many strategies available to do this, to doing this the right way, so that you actually reach out to people and you increase your chances of securing these partnerships. Okay, so this is actually a big thing. Well, we teach this inside the Profitable Yogi Teacher Program. It's a big thing. We have loads of templates and everything on this specific thing, because it's one of the areas where a lot of teachers get stuck. Well, how do I reach out? How do I even do that research to find out who I should be reaching out to? And what do those emails look like when I reach out? You know, so there's a whole strategy around reaching out, following up, and so on. Another way to create massive audience growth is to use advanced website traffic and email list building strategies. So this is really about getting traffic to your website and building your email list, okay? Because it's kind of the top of your funnel, essentially. Like, what if you have a website and no one's discovering it? Does that apply to anybody? Is there anyone here that has a website? Have you even been checking your data? You know, do you have a website and you're like, no one's even looking at this website? So how do you ensure that you're being discovered? Yeah, there's some work there to really make sure that your website is working for you. You know, when your website is working for you, it's going to help you to grow your email list. Okay, step 4. The first few steps that we've looked at already, these steps 1 to 3, let's say, are really about preparing you, right? Setting yourself up to grow. Yeah, getting all of the structure, getting all of the systems together, and really getting yourself out there. You know, using these strategies, these proven marketing strategies, to just really get yourself out there, visible, and get it working. The foundational part, the root chakra. When you do that, then you can move on to step 4. Step 4 is about creating your course, okay? Because you've done this work to grow your community. Now you can actually work on your online course, you know, which is obviously what you want to do. You know, you can look at your course idea, and there's lots more research you can do to actually come up with your course idea and really make sure that you are solving the problem. You're not just solving a symptom of the problem, okay? That's a big mistake. And so quite often, if we haven't done the work in step 1, remember I said about understanding the problem and the solution. If we haven't done that piece of work, quite often we can end up creating a course that's just solving a symptom. It's just working on a symptom. It's not getting to the root of the problem. Okay, so there's a lot to do in order to actually find the right idea and validate it. And when you've done that, you can start creating an outline for your course content and craft an offering that your students are going to love, like craft an offering that has immense value all the way through from that point A to point B. Remember, we've talked about this. Yeah, lots of you have also been using the AI tool that we have to come up with an outline. You know, we've talked about how we add value into that course so that there's support, community, and value each step of the way to get your students to the finish line. And then a key part of this is actually learning how to price your course and setting income goals. Learning how to price your course and setting income goals. So inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher Program, we teach you how to create a course that's priced at least $500. How you add that additional value into a course, how you craft your course so that you can create something that's at least $500. And that's not to say that you won't have lower ticket items or even higher ticket items. Certainly the students in our community, or £500. I mean, the dollar and the pounds are more or less the same these days, aren't they? So, you know, there's nothing to say that you won't have different offerings eventually, right? You create what's called the product suite. Yeah, it's another lesson. That's another lesson. So I want to share something on this. Okay, I want to share something on this. But the incredible thing about your online business and, you know, creating a course is actually there's a formula that you can start to look at, okay, when it comes to your income goals. And it takes into consideration your email list, the price of your course, and the conversion rate. We have a formula here that takes into consideration the number of people on your email list. This is why your email list is important, guys. Not the number of people who are following you on Instagram, the number of people on your email list, the conversion rate, and the price of your course. Okay. And the conversion rate, just to kind of make a note here, the conversion rate is dependent on how well you are dialing in your messaging, right? How well is dependent on the work that you've done on your messaging. Like how effective, how clear is your messaging with your ideal student? Also, how well you're marketing yourself, right? Are you using all these strategies that we're talking about? How well you're showing up to actually sell. We're going to talk about that in a moment. It's one of the steps, one of the later steps. Yeah, these are all things that we teach inside the program. But your conversion rate is dependent on these things. What is that really? It's dependent on you, isn't it? Remember, you being the risk here is dependent on you. So let's say we've got a 5K revenue goal. Let's also say that your conversion rate is 5%, right? So let's say 5% of the people are converting, okay? I mean, we have launches at around 10%. And certainly, like Janine, her conversion rate was 17%. So it really depends on those things that I talked about, okay? And then we want to make, and then our course, our online course is $500, okay? So you can obviously change the different numbers depending on what you're going to be offering. Maybe your course is going to be $1,000, whatever it is, you can pop it in there. It means that we need to make 10 sales, 10 people in the whole world in your niche, okay, to buy your online course. It also means we need 200 people on our email list. Do you think that this is achievable? It's achievable. It's totally achievable. When you have massive growth audience strategies, it's totally achievable. Yeah. When you start with having freebies, like some of you never had freebies. Now you have ideas for freebies, and you don't just have a freebie that's just sitting on your website. You are being active about how you share that freebie. You're creating partnerships. You're getting out in your space. You're being known. You're building your authority. It's achievable, guys. Okay. The next step, okay, is to create your course. Like, this is an exciting step, like a really exciting step, to actually go ahead and create your course. And the first thing you do is create a schedule, right? So that you're planned and you're organized. You stay on schedule, so you can, at the beginning of the year, when you're doing your 12-month planning and you're putting your course dates in, it all needs to work out with a schedule, right? And you do this, you create your content. You're going to create the content as you're going through the launch. Okay, I'm going to show you what a launch looks like in a minute. But you're not just creating the content and then you start working on your launch strategy and your content strategy that you're sharing, on external platforms. You're doing the things side by side. Part of this is obviously recording and editing it. Yeah, making it look professional, even if you're on a budget. And then hosting it. Lots of you have been asking about, where do you host your online course? There are many platforms where you can host your online course. When you get to step 6, okay, when you get to this step, and remember, step 5, creating your course, you're doing this at the same time. Okay, so we don't just stay in step 5 and stay there until we've created the course. We start moving on to these other steps at the same time. Step 6 is we're growing and priming our course audience. So you've already started to build a community, okay? Now you need to move this community into what's going to become your launch. You need to get these people ready. Yeah, you need to get them ready for it. And you'll do that by pre-launching your course. Yeah, you'll pre-launch your course, you'll educate your audience, okay? So what we don't want to do is just open the doors for enrollment and say, hey, come and join my course. We need to now do this piece of work to grow and prime this community ready for enrollment. Like, this is truly about qualifying people, which we spoke about in one of the masterclasses, didn't we? How we can qualify people for our online course. So when done right, when you move into this step and you do it right, in the right way, i.e. it's planned and it's structured, it's not rushed. This is actually a 60-day process of warming up your community and growing it even more, right? Grow and prime. Yeah, it's actually a 60-day process. This is the process that I've been on. Yeah, I've been on, and then I've had another 30 days, which I'll come on to in a moment. What you're doing here in this 2-month period is you're using your content to get your community ready to buy. Remember, we spoke about point A and point B. What do your audience need to know in order to even consider joining your course? Yeah, this is where like strategic content is key. Yeah, so there's specific types of content that will help you and will help you to prime your audience, will help you to get your audience ready, help them to understand what they need to even know to actually consider joining your course. What I'm saying here, guys, to help them consider a solution to their problem. They may have had this problem for years and they're just plodding along with the problem. Now you come along and now they have the opportunity to consider a solution. This is where we have to be strategic about our content. You know, you can use strategies to attract people as well, more people into your funnel, right? So organic strategies can be paid strategies. And, you know, we're starting to get even more strategic. We're starting to really tackle limiting beliefs. Yeah. We're also going to host an opt-in conversion event, right? That's what it's called. This is a challenge, a summit, a boot camp, an immersion, a masterclass series. And during this process, okay, so you would have had a process leading up to this, you're tracking what's going on with your community. Yeah, you're nurturing relationships. There's a lot that goes into this step. This is not, absolutely not, posting on Instagram saying, hey, my course is open, or sending one email out. My course is open, come and join. This is not what that is. There's a process, right? There's a 60-day pre-launch process, and then another 30 days of promoting your conversion event. So it's actually a 3-month lead up to when you actually open the doors. I've just had a 3-month lead up to this day. Yeah, right. So lots going on there, lots going on with this step. And essentially it's about your content, Carmen, just answering your question here. Essentially it's about your content, okay? It's about how you tackle the limiting beliefs that your community might have, right? The limiting beliefs. And also how you show up in your community with partners, right? There might be some things that specific things that you're doing with partners. You're essentially ramping up the activity, right? You're ramping everything up and you're shifting the focus of your content to get your community ready to buy, right? That's what you're doing here. Part of that is tackling limiting beliefs. Yeah, there's lots going on in this step. Too much for me to, it's a whole module. In fact, it's 2 modules. In the program, it's 2 modules. This is step 7, launching the course. Yeah, so step 7, launching the course, is when you are going to you're going to create your sales page. You're going to create an email sequence, right? You know, this is the 2-week period where the doors are open, right? So you're sharing your enrollment page, that information page about your course. You're sending emails out to the people that have come into your conversion event, right? And you are sharing launch content to help convert your community. That launch content might be testimonials. It might be going live with your previous students, right? There's specific content, FAQ content. There's specific content. There's things that you can do in that 2-week window to help you to convert and to help you to boost your sales. And also tracking what's happening. Tracking who's in your community, who's paying attention, right? Who is paying attention? We've heard about Viviane and her success. She's had 2 10K launches in a row. She's now building up for another launch at the moment. You've heard about Julia. She already had an established community, and then she used our framework to create a course. She had a membership before. She launched her course and made $20,000. Jessica, she made $6,000. Maria here had a 30K year. We're not going to convert every single person who's come through this journey. And that's important to understand, guys, and to not feel frustrated by that, and also to not be attached to that outcome. Remember, I talked about this earlier. Unattach yourself to the outcome. There will be many people who go through your online challenge or whatever it is that you choose to do who won't enroll. There will be more people who won't enroll. Some of these people will enroll the next time, and the time after, and the time after that. They're now in your community and you've built trust. Everyone has their own decision-making process that they go through, right? Everyone makes the right decision for them. Yeah, you can support and you can help people, but ultimately you're helping people to make the right decision for them. Do they want what you really, do they really want what you have, right? Do they really want what you have? So we have to detach ourselves and know that we showed up in the best way and that you've built community. That's the key thing, isn't it? That community, they will come into your programs at different times. Nothing is ever wasted. Nothing is ever wasted. That is a beautiful mindset to have when it comes to launching. Nothing is ever wasted. The final step, step 8, you want to get your students to the finish line. This is a huge focus for us here at Digital Yoga Academy. This is why we have so many success stories. We want to get our students to the finish line. Ultimately, I want my students to build their community, create a course and launch it and make money. Like, that's what I want them to do. And, I'm going to work really hard, and we've got a student success team in place to help students do that. Other ways that you can help your students to have success, some simple strategies here, which I'm going to share here. Welcoming them in with an onboarding email sequence, super easy to set up, right? Super easy, so that there's automated emails that go out when your new students come into your program and throughout as well. Offering a private members only Facebook group, right? So we have that for the Profitable Yoga Teacher program, and you get lifetime access to it. So it's not like you finish the 6 months and then you're out of the group. You stay in the group. Any profitable yogis here? I did see a few names. How much do you love that community? Like, being in there and being able to get ongoing support beyond the 6 months is key. So this is something to consider for your students. And over time, as you grow the numbers, it really does become a buzzing community. It's amazing. There's over 500 teachers in there. And collecting student feedback, right? So that you can make improvements for your next launch. And also so that you can share them in your next launch. Think about all the things that I've been sharing with you guys. But this is the key thing. Like, when you start to launch your course again and again and again and again, you really have an opportunity to create these stories, right? You have an opportunity to support your students to get to the finish line, help them to get profitable results, and then share those results. Inspire others so they can see what is actually possible when they go on this journey. Yeah, it's key, isn't it? You have to have ways to be able to inspire your community so that they can see that this is possible, because most of the time, people will be, holding back because they don't believe that it is possible for them. Remember, this comes back to that I am not enough mentality, right? So I don't believe that I can do this. Everyone has that, whatever journey they're on. We all have the same fears, right? In different ways. We all have the same fears, essentially. When you get to the finish line, you must also reflect and celebrate the incredible journey that you have been on as a course creator and the progress that you've made. Super, super important. How are you going to get there? Because 5K launches are possible, 10K launches are possible, 20K launches are possible. Like, this success is not reserved for someone else, is it? It's all possible for you. And, you know, with support, specifically having a step-by-step framework to follow, just as these teachers did, having that accountability, all of this and more is possible. So there you go. They are the 8 steps to creating and launching a profitable online yoga course. Did you expect that it would look like this? Did you expect the framework to look like this, right? Did you expect it to have all of this detail that it has? Did you honestly think there would be this much detail that goes into building your community, nurturing the relationships, qualifying people as potential students for your course, actually creating your course and then launching it? No way. But it makes sense. Now you've seen it, it makes sense, right? It does. This is the framework that I use in my business. This is the framework that we use to launch the Profitable Yoga Teacher now for the 8th time. This is the framework that we used to launch Yogipreneur Launchpad before we put it onto an evergreen model. Okay, so the Profitable Yoga Teacher is launched twice a year. It's called a live model, live launching, and the Yogipreneur Launchpad is evergreen. You can get into it any day of the year. Okay. This framework is a proven framework. Like, you've seen the students, the teachers, the yoga business owners who are using this framework that I teach inside the program. Yeah, you've seen it. All of their results are incredible. You know, even the results that are 1K, 2K, like the lower results, I think they're even more incredible. Like, that means they're onto something. It means their students want what they have to offer. Likely those teachers had a much smaller community. You know, now they know how to grow their community. They can launch again, they can grow, they can improve it, they can get better at their messaging, they can get better at marketing. There's always things in that process that you can get better at. You know, I can guarantee that you'll learn the framework and you won't implement every single thing in the framework. That's a great thing, isn't it? Because next time you can implement something else. Yeah, you can add to it. And you want to actually give yourself a full year to launch. Keep launching as much as you can and relaunch again and again and again. Yeah, keep relaunching. And, you know, if you follow these steps and you're committed to taking action, essentially, take action every day, you can create your profitable course and actually start creating more income, freedom, more success to support people, to actually provide even more transformation, yeah, to your students. Like, it can feel magical, it can feel amazing, right? Are you committed to taking action to do that? Because if you're committed to it, then I really invite you to join us inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher program. We are looking to support teachers who are committed. It's a two-way thing, this, actually. I want to invite the most committed people into this program, the entrepreneurial yoga teachers who truly want to do it, who recognize they have blocks and mindset things to move through, but they actually want to address those things. Not necessarily the teachers who don't want to take action. Like, this program isn't for you if you don't want to take action. Yeah, so this is a two-way thing. I want the action takers to come and join us, really. Yeah, who truly want to do it, who want to come under our wing here at Digital Yoga Academy and do it. You've invested a lot of money into yoga teacher trainings and to become a yoga teacher, an experienced yoga teacher, yet still struggling, right? Still struggling to make this into a sustainable business. And the reason for that is because there's a missing piece, isn't there? There's the business piece. There's the business and marketing knowledge to really enable you to actually go out there and be able to share what you do and make money. Okay. This program is an opportunity to transform that investment that you've already made into your yoga teacher trainings, transform that investment into a profitable online course, yeah, that you can sell again and again. What you get inside the program, brand new updated program content. This program has been running since 2018, and earlier this year, in February, when the previous group came in, the program content was completely revamped and re-recorded. Okay, so in that time from February through the 6 months, I was re-recording everything, adding new strategies, updating it. It's been updated 3 times since 2018. So it's a new version, right? You get access to that. Lifetime access. If I do more new versions, which I will do, and add to it, you get access to all of those new strategies. What worked last year doesn't necessarily work this year. Okay, it's important to realize that about the online space. There's weekly live coaching sessions. There's a couple with me every month, and also I have a team of coaches. You get lifetime access to the Facebook group. You also get an onboarding session with someone in my student success team. Okay, so you get that at the beginning. There's workbooks, checklists, tools, weekly virtual meetups with your community. Okay, so this is something that we facilitate. We don't join these Zoom sessions. You guys meet up and you chat and you collaborate and you make friends, essentially. You also have accountability pods as well, so you'll be able to connect with 4 or 5 people inside the program and help each other stay accountable, which is incredible. We've just gone through the framework, right? The framework is within these 8 modules. Right, I've just gone through the detail of the framework, which is what we teach in these modules. Also, because you guys are here, you have 7 days for these bonuses. Okay, you're also going to get a mentorship session with one of our trained mentors, and you can use a $300 discount. These are the program bonuses. There's 13 program bonuses. You get these regardless. Okay, so if you enroll on the final day of our enrollment open, you're going to get these. You get these as standard with the program. There's a key bonus, and it's access to Yogipreneur Launchpad. Crazy, right? This is the only time that this will happen. If you decide a month from now that you want to get inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher program, you're going to have to join the wait list and wait until we open it again. If you decide you want to be in Yogipreneur Launchpad, you're going to pay almost $2,000 and you'll be inside Yogipreneur Launchpad. Okay. But if you enroll in the Profitable Yoga Teacher during this live launch, you're going to also get access to this. And the great thing about it is you get instant access. So as soon as you enroll, you'll be straight into this program. We start the Profitable Yoga Teacher program on the 30th of October. So it means you have from now until then to get inside Yogipreneur Launchpad. You'll join the weekly sessions. So this is the other key thing about this, is that now you have 6 months of twice weekly sessions. Yeah, you have the coaching sessions every week inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher program, and you also have weekly Q&A sessions, mentorship sessions inside Yogipreneur Launchpad. So there's 2 opportunities every single week to go live. We've got you covered. We've got you covered. So who is this for? This is for those of you who are starting from 0. This is for you because I don't want anything to hold you back from doing this. Okay, so you're going to get double the support over the next 6 months to do this. And you have to be an action taker, right? You have to be an action taker. Remember that all of you are on your own journey here. Yeah, we have a rule inside the program. It's called the golden rule. The golden rule says, I'm not falling behind. I'm on my own journey. Okay, I'm going at my own pace, but I'm taking action every day, whether that's 5 minutes or 5 hours, whatever it is, I'm taking action every day and I'm moving forward. That's the golden rule. We're not behind. We're not falling behind. We don't need to catch up. We go at our own pace. Everyone has their own things going on in their lives, right? You know, family, maybe other jobs. You go at your own pace. You take away that, you know, frustration. Yeah, take that away. You take away the pressure. I'm going to keep you accountable. My team is going to keep you accountable. The community will keep you accountable. You just need to show up. There's also a tech lab. So there's tutorials that I've recorded. You watch me going through all the different systems. It's all there. There's a coaching vault, okay, from previous cohorts. You can go through and see what things have been covered. You can go and watch those at your leisure, right? There's lots and lots of coaching sessions in there on lots of different topics. There's profitable yoga niche course. There's social media templates that you can customize that are Canva templates. There's more templates. These are done for you templates. Launch email sequence sales copy. So when you open the doors for enrollment, you're going to be sending out a lot of emails. There's templates there so that you're not stuck with that. There's landing page copy templates, right, for your opt-in freebies, for your sales page. There's a course on how to launch a podcast, and I teach you the strategy for having a successful podcast. There's a bundle of various different masterclasses that you get here as well. They're kind of listed here, so you can read that out. There's a bundle from Hannah, a bundle from Christina. These are all strategy sessions. So the coaching sessions you have with them are like hot seat coaching, where you really get your answers to questions and you get support with what you're struggling with. There's also strategic masterclasses that you can watch on these topics. Okay, so when you join the coaches, it's not about watching strategy, it's about actually getting real-time support. If you can't join those sessions live, you submit your questions and the coaches have access to that and they will answer your questions for you. Okay, and then you watch the replays. There's also a bundle of masterclasses on copywriting and also diversity and inclusion in the yoga space. Okay, so many there. All of these bonuses, the 48-hour bonuses, the immersion bonuses, and these 13 bonuses that I've just talked about here are valued over $10,000. Okay, eat your heart out. 18 bonuses to get hold of. So if you go for the program, you get all of those bonuses. The one-time payment, okay, a one-time payment is $2,497. Obviously, you get $300 off that. Okay, the code to get the $300 off, the code is immersion. Okay, that's going to give you $300 off this price. It will also give you $300 off the payment plan as well. Okay, so there's 6 monthly payments minus the $300 spread across those 6 monthly payments. If you want to get the program and also have mentorship, right? One-to-one mentorship with a DYA trained mentor. So there's 6 sessions and you also get 2 hours of tech support with this as well. Then the price is $3,597 and $600 for payment plan, but you also get $300 off this. The code is immersion 1-to-1, theprofitableyogateacher.com. Enrollment is officially open. Your success is about you. Okay, the fact that you are here right now with me, you know, this is you showing up, isn't it? Right, your success is about you. You're already on the road to success, and it's really about the decisions that you make now. It's how you show up, right? It's the energetic investments that you're making into your business and to the outcomes that you want, you know, really is. And you can get results. Of course, these results don't happen overnight. They don't happen overnight. They take grit, knowledge, persistence, and a real belief in yourself. What I want you to not allow is to not allow the fear of what other people are going to think of you, like trying to do this. Don't allow that to stop you from moving forward. Like, don't even listen to that. And whether you decide to come into this program or not, I want you to look at how you get support. Yeah, how you get support and get the support, you know, have support, have community, because when you have that and you have knowledge, new knowledge, you can literally transform your life. You can transform so many of your students' lives as well. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Like, more than anything else, I really want you to experience what's possible for you when you have your own online course. You know, when you've created that course and you can put it out there again and again and again. Like, you owe it to yourself to explore that, to really explore, like, what is life going to look like for me? What is my business going to look like for me in 2024 with all of this new knowledge that I have and this support and this community that's keeping me moving forward? You know, it's so important. Love you all so much, and stay connected. Get into Messenger if you have any questions. make a cup of tea and read the sales page. Okay, lots of love to you all. Bye bye.